Oh, no, I'm actually, no, I don't need to go anywhere. All right, lecture 7, and we talked about modulus and, how we learned about exponential problems or tougher or stuff like that. Y'all remember that? Hopefully y'all remember that? Okay. Well, what if you don't have a calculator? And what if you have an old calculator that can't do large numbers? I'm going to show you how to do them by hand. Before this class was put online, that's how I made you do them all the way in class. Because it's not hard to do. But with an online class, how am I going to require you to do this? Yeah, some of you might adhere by that rule, but very few would. So I'm kind of... Yeah, well, let's see how it works. Okay, so if I tell you to calculate 8 to the 12th power mod 26, that's a very large number, okay? So what we could do is we could do 8 times 8 is 64. Times 8 is 2512, blah. Times 8 is 4096, and so on and so forth. Okay, so in other words, you'd end up with a very large number. 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's what you end up with. Okay, so far so good. You could all do that. Then you have to do your basic math, long division-wise, and come up with a modulus of 14. Could you do that? You could, but it would take you a while. Yeah, polynomial. Exactly. All right, so it could be done. It's just not.
How come it does that to every computer?
I don't know. All right. So what if I told you that 8 to the 12th mod 26 is the same as all those put together?
Oh, you are the teacher.
Because it is. It is. There's a name for it. I'm not a mathematician, but there's a name for that. So it is. 8 to the 12th is actually 8 squared times 8 squared, so on and so forth. Okay? So I'm going to show you how all this works. Now you saw before it was 14. Everybody remember that? The long way was 14. So let's look at it this way. So 8 squared mod 26 times 8 squared mod 26 is equal to 12 times 12 mod 26, which is 14. Then you're going to do that 3 times because you need 12, because the first line only gave you 4. 8 squared and 8 squared is 4, so you got to do that line 3 times. So each line ends up giving you 14. Then you do 14 times 14 times 14. Mod 26, you end up with 2744, mod 26, and a remainder of 14. So it does work. It'll work every single time this way. So rather than work with you, the way people screw up is this part right here, which I'm not, where's my drawing thingy, Hoosie? Is this the pen?
That's it.
Pen. Is this part right here. They leave this part off. You need 12 because 8 squared mod 12 is 12. Okay? So you need to bring the 12 times 12 mod 26 still. So this first 12, here's my marker, this first function right here, this part right here, is giving us this first 12. Okay? The second part right here is giving us this second 12. Then you do that times mod 26 again. Okay? Right. Yep, 144 mod 26 exactly would give you 14. Then 14 times 14 times 14, so on and so forth. Okay? You could also do 8 to the 3rd power 4 times. You could do that. You could do 8 to the 3rd power mod 26 times 8 to the 3rd power mod 26 ends up with 18. So that's 18 times 18 mod 26, which is 12. 12 times 12 mod 26 is 144. 144 mod 26 is 14. You get the same answer no matter way you do it. Everybody with me? So yes, you could do this. Oh yeah, that huge number is now workable because you're really only going to do 8 to the 3rd mod 26 one time. Then you're going to know, okay, the second and the third and the fourth, they're all the same. So why do it over and over and over again? And you could actually do some, an 8 to the 4th and an 8 to the 3rd. I mean, you could, as long as the total ends up being 12, you could do 8 to the 4th and 8 to the 4th. Then 8 to the 4th. Yeah, you could do 8 to the 4th 3 times, or you could mix them up. They don't have to be the same. So we did 8, so you could do it many different ways. So easy enough to do, and it does work every single time. And if you got a cheapy old calculator, I think one of the first cell phone calculators wasn't able to do this number. So easy enough. Does everybody kind of understand how that works? I cannot figure out a way for me to allow you to take a test at home and make you do this part without having a Proctor U or something like that. So
I would give you a suggestion, but it would might be the ass.
what?
You can always have people do the test and then bring in their scratch paper that they actually used.
I could, except for one problem. What he said was have people bring in the scratch paper. I have a student in Florida. I have a student in Texas.
Email it to you.
Funny story about that. I teach online all the time. I've had students in Afghanistan during a war. It's funny because the guy goes, okay, I took my test. You should have it in 2 days. So I'm like, okay. Then I got an email from the proctor. I'll get it to you in 2 days. So I'm like, why is it taking so long? Well, the dude was actually fighting in Iraq. They sent a proctor with a tent, a computer, and an air conditioner on a Black Hawk helicopter 400 miles out into the field. Set up a little testing center. The guy took the test. They packed it all back up, shipped it all the way back. And I'm like, holy moly, that's one heck of a proctoring.
That's one heck of an expensive.
Yes. But, when I was in the military, they didn't care about education. Now they do. My boss actually made fun of me for going to school. Until the day when I retired before he did. And I was in my office down the end of the hall. And it was like a year later, I'm working full time here. He walks by my door and looks in there. He says, shut up, don't say a word. He was just starting his education. Yeah, because he was just then starting. He thought it was a waste of time while he was in the military, but hell, But yeah, you can do this. It's not that hard to do. Yeah, I just haven't figured out a way to make you require it yet. But no, back to you, have students bring it in. I did have a student once in an online Java class said, I'm in the military, I'm deployed a lot, I'll get all the work to you by the end of the semester. Give me these great excuses. So, and at the end of the semester, he's like, I'm going to FedEx overnight you a CD-ROM with all the answers on it. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So he did, because class ended on a Friday. He said I have it by Monday because grades were due till Monday night. So he FedEx overnighted me the program, the CD-ROM with all of his work on it. Monday, I received it. I go to grade it, and I had a Java program where they had to have a GUI where it popped up and said something. Well, it happened to pop up and say your name. Popped up and said somebody else's name. They had another program where it had your name and it said a difference. What he had done was all throughout the course, at the end of each week, was having all the students send their work to him. And he was just picking the one he wants and submitting his own. I'm like, seriously? So that was awesome. All right, so pretty simple to do here. Okay, so let me stop this one.